Hello, Lothar here. It's November 2022. Apologies, it's been quite a long overdue for an updated video, but I just as a quick update, I did the PCT last year in 2021, and I did 2,000 miles of it this year in 2022, and just had to come off for work. I actually came off for work twice, and then rejoined the trail at different points. But yeah, couldn't find enough time to finish it this year, so I'm going to probably try again next year, fit it in with work. Section hiking every weekend. And I'm actually here at Boulder Oaks at the moment today. Saw a couple of southbounders, and yeah, seeing a steady stream now, and hopefully they're looking really good to finish, and looking very excited. But also, I think like most hikers, they sort of have that little down feeling as well when it's all the great fun is actually coming to an end. So anyway, wish them luck. Right, when I was hiking this year, I met a lot of people who said they'd seen my videos, and they said, look, why don't I do a video on about background, because they just said it might help people understand where I'm coming from. So this is the purpose of this video. This is an introduction video for 2023. So who am I? Well, I am 56 years old. I've been hiking all my life. I am actually, or was a former research physicist, scientist, so I was a nerd. I'm still a nerd actually, basically in the academic world, but also in the commercial world, and I basically love tech of any sort. But in parallel with that, all through my life, I've been doing hiking, orienteering, snow and ice skills, and a large part of that came from the luck I had early in my life, where my brother and I, we grew up in a small village where we had what's called a Venture Scout group. Now in the UK, that is basically ages 15 to 21, but our group was pretty much basically a scout group on steroids, because we didn't have just one leader. We had three leaders, each of which had very unique and overlapping skills that gave us a great start. Now the first leader we had was Steve. Now Steve was a very experienced mountaineer. Also, he obviously taught us navigation, how to basic survival skills, snow and ice work, how to use an ice axe, self-arresting, how to traverse snow and ice in a safe way using ropes or unroped, how to look after yourself and look after others, but also not endanger others. Be aware of people who are below you, potentially on the slope, and be careful of people above you on the slope. So that was a very good grounding. And with Steve, we also did a lot of expeditions. So we got to travel all over Europe. So wherever there were mountains, we would normally do an expedition of some kind through the year, sometimes multiple times, whereby we would just learn skills and really push ourselves to the limits, which was really, really good. Because it was about 40 years ago, we didn't have the health and safety regulations that a lot of scout leaders have now. So again, I was lucky at that particular time. The second leader we had was Gordon. Now, Gordon was a former coxswain or steersman on a national lifeboat in the UK. Now, these are the people who go out on lifeboats in force 9 gales and rescue people in the English Channel. So he re-emphasised the navigation skills, survival skills, and he also was into water sports and ran a dive boat. And part of his influence, I ultimately ended up doing lots and lots of diving. I used to live on the south coast. I trained many courses that I'll train up to be an instructor, but not as a job, but more as a just love learning. I think the other thing when you become an instructor in any discipline, be it an academic scientist or a sports discipline, you kind of have to worry about, when you're instructing people, you have to bear in mind you've got a breadth of skills, so that you may have to deal with. So people who may be nervous or very experienced or inexperienced, or right the way up to very overconfident and inexperienced. Sometimes you have to deal with those people, and it's the same. You'll hear lots of people giving advice, and it'll be some will come from the high level preachy instructor level, and people will become gung-ho and go, yeah, go for it, you don't need this, you don't need that. You have to make your own decisions on what's safe for you and what you're comfortable with and what your skill level is. Anyway, the last leader we had was Dave. Now Dave was an endurance athlete. He still runs marathons today. He taught us all about obviously long distance endurance, looking after your muscles, warming up, diet, electrolytes. Now the influence of those three guys, from 15 to 21, we got into competitions. We did orienteering competitions. I did solo and team competitions. We also did endurance competitions using ultralight kit 40 years ago. So again, we were very fortunate. We occasionally we're always in the top 10 of the teams, and we occasionally very lucky and actually won these competitions. So again, it was very much the influence of these guys guiding us. So when I see people with photographs 30, 40 years carrying big framed packs and 40, 50, 60 pounds, you didn't really have to do that. Thankfully, we had leaders who kind of steered us towards the lightweight even then. So yes, things have changed since then. Probably the only really big change for me is actually changing from hiking boots to trail runners. So again, that was a big change for me over the last 10 years. But yeah, now it's the norm. But most of the other kit, ultimately the materials, you could do lightweight and ultra lightweight stuff 40 years ago, and we were doing some of that tarping. You could get equipment down to reasonable levels, obviously not to the same levels today, but halfway there, not too bad. So if I'm sort of leaning towards all the experiences I've had. So sometimes I come across as maybe old-fashioned. Sometimes I may come across as fully up to date. But most of the stuff I'm doing is I'm weighing what I learned 40 years ago all the way through, and what training courses I've had all through the years, and basically what you're seeing on the trends today. Some of which I think are brilliant. Some of which I'm still yet to be convinced by. And you'll see that in lots of videos. People have different opinions, so I would certainly encourage you to watch as many videos as you can, and take what you like from each person's style and insights. I've not seen any set of videos that covers everything beautifully, perfectly. Of the two I actually do really like, just because they do a great job, is Homemade Wanderlust Dixie and Darwin on the Trail. They just do a very good general. So if you're starting out for the first time, certainly look at those, and then as you start deciding your kit and picking things up, then watch videos like this and the videos I'm going to do, and lots of other people's, and see which ones you like. So that's it. That's me. I will be releasing more videos, particularly on kit. I will try and keep them short and sweet. I will try and do a big reveal at the start of the video to say what kit I choose, and then use the rest of the video justifying all my thought processes as to why you chose those particular pieces of kit. And again, hope they're helpful to you. I might see you section hiking or training hiking over the winter, or hopefully maybe see you on trail next year. Anyway, speak to you soon.